Welcome back to KF Trades. Just going to walk through the indices real quick and then talk about one stock that I'm keeping my eye on and then a couple of trades that I did to wrap up the week. Let's get out there and make some money. Okay, let's look at the indices after this week real quick. So this is the Dow. We've had a nice little downturn, 4 days there, and then Friday we got a little bit of a bounce. Trading right between the 9-day and the 20-day and approaching a little bit of resistance right here. So we'll have to watch that, see where it goes. Same thing with the SPY. Up against some resistance, trading right around the 9-day and pushing towards that 20-day. We'll see if things roll over or if we get a little bit more of a bounce. I'd like to see a bounce up towards the 398 area, which would be right around the 50-day. Got a lot of important information coming up this month. CPI data, Fed meeting towards the end of the month. I think that July 13th, that CPI data is going to be a big date. So I'd be watching things between now and then. Here's the Qs. Same thing, trading just below the 9-day. If we could get a move out of that. We got a little bit of a move here on Friday. Not all of the stocks that trade through the Qs were moving. Google was down, actually. Never really got its footing. For some reason, with all the ad spend, there's been a lot of talk around that. So that one never really moved on Friday. The Russell 2000. Same thing, we're right at some resistance here. Pushed up against this 9-day, possibly heading into its 20-day. So we're it looks like we're possibly in a little bit of an up move here. Looking at the stochastics and the RSI on all of them, they're kind of right in that middle range, so we could flip either way right now. It's a day-by-day deal, which I'll explain in a couple of the trades I had the last couple of days of the week. Okay, so one of the trades I had this last week, this is a daily chart, 3 days up here with a 5-minute chart. And this started back on Wednesday. Made a nice move up. I bought some puts, and I actually bought them for the whole week here that expired on Friday. And I bought it down to the 102 level. And we got a decent little pullback right here. And since nothing's been holding, there's been no consistency. I haven't stayed in these trades very long. Got the move down, got out of it. And unfortunately, it would have been a nice hold if I had just held it until the next day, which was today on Thursday. We opened, moved up, but then we had a strong move down. Unfortunately, on both stocks I'm talking about today, I just didn't have the guts to jump in on these and catch this move back up. And I wish I would have, because that would have been a decent move there too. But anyways, once we got back up here, tested these resistance that I have here, and I got in some puts again, some real tight ones, made that move down right there, and I got out of those that quick. I mean, like a 20-30 minute trade. And then I didn't trade Amazon the rest of the week. Anyways, I bought some puts for this last week that expired on Friday, and this day right here was on Wednesday. So I bought those puts. It moved up right here, bought those puts, traded down a little bit and sideways, and I was up a little bit on them. I was expecting it to be a decent move down, so I actually held this one. Got this big move down at the open on Thursday, and I got out of it right down here. And just like the Amazon trade, I wish I'd have had the guts to jump in and catch this move back up. I saw it coming, and I just didn't do it. I just don't trust anything right now. And I wish I would have. Okay, this is a chart on Charge Point Holdings. It's an EV play. They deal with the EV chargers for the electric cars. And this is a 10-year chart. You can see way back when they came on and started trading back in September of 2019. I mean, they traded straight across at like $9 the whole time. And then in September 2020, they started to move up, had their nice climb. But anyways, they've been in this downtrend. Let's shorten this up a little bit, clean it up a little bit. 3-year chart. So this resistance line right here, nice downtrend line, and they bounced off that religiously. So I've played this against the other resistance that I have here. Whether I sell puts, get assigned the stock, and then it bounces up, I sell it, and then just wait for the next opportunity. But this trend, this top trend and this bottom trend, they're starting to get really tight. And I think this next, been hearing a lot of talk about this one. The RSI and stochastic are in a downturn. So I think when this stochastic gets below 20 again and starts to bottom out, this might be a bottom on this one. Start a buying opportunity for you, at least for the next run. I'm hoping that this low of 850 right here is going to hold. If that one doesn't, at least maybe this $11 one. And let's shorten this up just a little bit. So I've got this resistance at around $11. That was a low back here in January. And the other good resistance was this 1950 area. Really good resistance that have bounced off for a while. So as of right now, they've got an average price target of $23.50 with a high of 46. So there's a lot of room to run when this thing gets moving. It's just, I'm watching this $11 range on this pullback here, see if that holds. If it doesn't, I think anything under $10 you could start picking this up if the $11 doesn't hold. But I think in the next 2 weeks, as this plays out with, like I said, the CPI data coming out on July 13th and then the Fed meeting at the end of the month, things are starting to come to a head here, I think. But it's all dependent on that CPI data and what the Fed's doing. I think the Fed's pretty set in stone. They're going to raise it 3/4 of a point anyways. But if we start getting some good inflation data, things might start to level off here. But anyways, that's a stock you might want to keep an eye on. I think it's ready. So how might I play this? Well, you got a couple options here. You can either buy the stock and tie up all that money or just use the options opportunity. So for me, I'd probably buy options on it. I don't want to tie up more cash than I have to at this point. So what I would do is wait for this little bit of a pullback. Hopefully, if we get down in here, if we get down around the $11 and even lower, you could possibly start buying some options. Now, they report on September 1st, and it always amazes me how these people adjust these, which options are available. But you can see right here, they have the 8/19 ones, but they don't let you get the September or October options available right now. I don't understand how they do this or why they do this. I'm sure it's beneficial to them, but it happens all the time, especially around earnings. So what I would do is probably look at the January of 2024 options and look at the $20. And right now those are going for $2.50. Now if we get a little bit of a pullback still, these are going to be even cheaper. So I might, and there's some volume out there already, But if we get another dollar move, $1.50 move down or something around this $11, these will probably be around $2 or something. Well, probably wouldn't be that cheap, but yeah, they might be. They might be like 210 or something like that. But you could pick up one contract for $200 basically, depending on what the price is then, and just sit on that if you're a beginner or something like that looking to get into options, and just watch it accordingly. I mean, you have 560 some days. If we get a nice move up and you think they have bad news coming and you're up on it, get out of it. You don't have to wait that whole time. But for me, I'd probably buy a handful of contracts out there, especially after these technicals that I've showed you. I think this thing's ready to break, especially the way they're pushing EVs and everything's moving that way. It's possibly only going to get bigger. It could possibly head down. There's no guarantees. But the things I'm looking at right here, I think it would be a pretty decent bet. But don't go all in. You don't need to buy 10 contracts or 20 contracts. If you're just starting out, just buy 1 or 2 contracts and sit on it. And that $400 or $500, I mean, could turn into several thousand for you if we get that move.